Thank you. And today's session, so far it is conveyed, is a very well uh, discussed, but a little bit, I should say, a sort of multidisciplinary approach of spirituality, which is which was there from the ancient age, but it has taken a very um, uh, new shape in the hand of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna, and it is it has always been very much pertinent in our life, extremely pertinent. That has always been the uh, uh, very junctional problem of practicing spirituality. That was that was a question philosophically raised from ages, and it was not that very simply it was answered. It had a very long history of discovering the real uh, crux of the problem. Now, actually, I wanted these things to happen through question and answer sort of atmosphere. That will be always nice. Otherwise, a monologic thing is not that good always. So I will invite questions. Now, we are given 1 hour time. So I will have small outlining of the theme, maybe some salient points, maybe the points maybe that may not be that uh, easily elaborated right now, but there may be other questions in your mind because it should be relevant to the listeners. So that's why you may have your questions given to the people who are conducting the thing, and it may be discussed afterwards. So the main thing which we are supposed to discuss, given to discuss, is a three-phasic thing. This triphasic thing is a new uh, invent or new coining of the term. In so far, Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature is getting spread throughout the world.
Mm-hmm.
The thing being the work and worship, work as worship, and work is worship.
Yes.
Now, to begin with, I will just start with small anecdote of
Mm-hmm.
Swami Madhavananda ji. So a new joining brahmachari, he approached with all his confusion. So he has come and joined the order to become a monk, and to become a monk is to realize God. That is the only thing, uh, pointed and focused, very clear. And there is no confusion in the goal. But when he joined the order, he found a lot of work he has to do. Lot of work he has to do, menial work, getting tired, things and all these things. So uh, the aspiration, the tremendous desire to devote a sort of a meditation, still silence and introvertness of the mind and all these things, what we imagine so eloquently, we imagine, so nicely we design in our mind that we should do these things. Now that was getting hindered. So he approached Madhavanji that Maharaj, I'm not getting time for spiritual practice. Spiritual practice is being hindered because he had the idea of spiritual practice in his own way and it was not being fulfilled. So he thought work is for the ashrama, that is a mandatory thing, that is an obstacle to the spiritual life. So all these things happened to him. So he approached. So he nicely then, Madhavanji answered in a very nice way. He said, actually, he again coined three sentences. The terminology is that work. He said that you now have to do the dual things. One is work and worship. Work and worship, as if they're two different things. You are diagnosing as they're two different things, and let it be those two, because it is not occurring to you that how they are uh, synthesizable. So you are not being able to synthesize. So no problem. You take these two distinct things as work as a different one, And worship or spiritual practice is different. Now, when you will advance, then he says, when you will do it for a couple of years or say few days with proper spirit, then you will come to a conclusion that it's not that work and worship you are doing, then you will do it work as worship. Then you can do that. Then you will be able to do that as work as worship. And still further, when you advance in this, your journey of spiritual life, because you have come to become a monk, you should definitely pursue your own spiritual practice and the model you have made in your mind. You understood things, you are understanding things, you are reading scriptures, you are practicing scriptural sentences and this all this scriptural and the guru teachings you are implementing in your life. By that, you will develop. There's a point. You will develop, and then you will understand that work as worship, divinizing the work. We are divinizing the work as if the work was not a material thing. There is complete divine presence and practice in every work. That's what you slowly come to know. And you try to work in that spirit, in that vision, to be opened up slowly. Then if you do that, continue doing that, then slowly you will hit upon the real truth that nothing is there other than the reality. There is nothing other than that. The good, the bad, the seen, the virtue, the waste of time, the spirituality, the mundane, all these things are just but the terms we have used so far. In reality, there is only one truth. There is only one thing. And then you will understand that the work you are doing is absolutely the worship. There is no difference. So what Maharaj told actually, that you need to have a patience. And that is very, very important. You have to have the patience. What most important take-home message in understanding these things is what Maharaj has cleared it, that you must have a proper patience to unfold the truth in you. Like we always say, it is very, I always like to say like this. So they immediately want results. Some meditation, some japa, some results, some immediate peace, something will come out. This immediateness is throwing them. The whole world is rushing for an immediate result. So if you promise an immediate result, it will be seen, it will be applauded by people. But nothing real growth is immediate. Never. So I give an example, very stock example, you can say. Suppose you want to have a good mango. Now you have a good mango seed. Now if you have the mango seed, will you get the mango within 1 day? 3 days? 3 months? 4 months? 1 year? No. At least you have to wait for some 1 to 20 years, depending upon the seed and the circumstance. So you need to have your time. Though you have the seed of the best mango, though you can eat it properly, legitimately, with your proper designing of the garden and care of the seed and the plant, but with all these perfections you imply and employ, you need to wait and wait. This waiting is immensely praised and told in all of our scriptures, starting from Upanishad. We think Upanishad being the crest jewel of all spirituality. We take recourse to Puranas, we take recourse to all sort of Prakarana Granthas and all these things, Upanishads. But when you go back to the Shruti, this Shraddha and Nishtha is immensely eulogized and told, repeatedly it is told, because these two things we really miss in our character. Nothing can work in haste. In haste, you will never come to know these things. Never. And one by one, we have to see, and one by one, we'll definitely come to. Definitely. Now, this is the small anecdote what I thought I should share with you. Now, in this karma, problem is in the beginning, we understand both very little. We do work because we don't know anything other than that. We're given this body, we see, we're bound to see. We are given these ears, we're bound to listen. I read a big article on listening and my listening will change. It will not happen. So that is no knowledge. Suppose we think we read scientific journals on listening and seeing and taste and touch and all. That does not change their character. They does not really influence in my life. Their influence are same. So the mechanism knowing is nothing what actually knowing we mean by this. We receive the impulse of the external world and we are the product of that, and we have indriyas, sensory organs, and we are bound to listen, bound to act. So this is a sort of a tremendous bondage, absolutely hardwired thing. There is no freedom in it. So because there is no freedom, we never ask the question, what is karma? Now, what is worship? Why should I worship? What after all worship means? So we have no idea of anything for a long time in our spiritual life, not only in the beginning. Don't think it's a beginning problem. For a long, long time, we actually don't have any clue what is what. First of all, let me come to some, as I've already started, that what is karma? Now, if you who have all gone through Shankara and all, in Shankara there is Jnana Nishtha, Karma Nishtha, one big fight is there. In all the commentaries of Upanishads, this Karma Nishtha, Jnana Nishtha is a lot big part in it. People don't understand. And many of the followers of the Shankarites, so-called Shankarites, they are conflicting with, you should not do karma, give up karma, go to love, you should not do these things, only chant and Guru Puja. That is the sadhu's life. Sadhu should not do this, that. This was a long uh, given logic by Shankarites. And what Shankaracharya wanted to imply, that was also going under the carpet. Now, that is a completely terminological issue. What karmanishtha, according to Shankara, that is not the karma what is used in Gita, nor by Swamiji, and not at all by Sri Ramakrishna. And they have no conflict in between, actually. Shankaracharya and Sri Ramakrishna and Swamiji telling the same things, only the terminological problem. You have to understand very carefully the terminology. Sharadanand used to say 90% of our scriptural conflicts and other conflicts centering the terminology. We have to define the terminology properly. Now, this karma, according to Shankara, is a sakama karma. I want this, I want that, by desire to fulfill desire, that karma, and that karma is definitely against your knowledge. We'll come to this. These are wonderful things. We'll come, if time permits, we'll come to the whole logic of the streaming logic of the things. Now, but the karma, what Shankara told, he gave the name Jnana Nishtha. That's a karma. But it is not a sakama karma. Jnana Nishtha, that Nishtha is giving rise to one specific type of karma. That is, he terminologized, he give the term Jnana Nishtha. What does it include? Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, Swadhyaya, Pravachana, all these things centering the realization of the God and the karmas done in that spirit are all Jnana Nishtha. The same thing. Now, Gita is very clear. What is karma? Gita is very clear. Now, in third chapter, you will find, I think in fifth shloka, Gita, there clearly Bhagavan says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit karyate yavasha karma sarvam prakritijair gunaihi. Now, this is a very important shloka. He says what? Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishtati akarma krit. Nobody can stay even a moment without doing karma. So Dehandriyanam, or Deha Indriya, there any activity is a karma. And Sri Ramakrishna was so absolutely clear about this thing. He said that whatever you are thinking and doing is a karma. Suppose you are meditating. Now, when you are meditating, that is a karma. You are thinking, it's a mental karma. So anything done with an ego of me is a karma. So karta with ahankara is a karma. And we are bound to do it. Bound to do it. Even in the mind, in the intellect, in the body, everything is karma. Suppose people say, I am not keeping quiet. It's not that akarma. It is fully karma. Now, akarma should happen when the mind is shut down. Then only akarma can happen. So, karma has to be there. That is in Sri Ramakrishna's wonderful Bengali statement comes, which says everything of karma. Karma is Adi Kanda. It is a primordial activity, primordial, ornamentation of the being is karma. Now, what is that? What does it mean? This machine of human machine can never stay without a moment of the moment without karma. Rather, we have no idea what tremendous karma is being done every moment with the body, mind, subconscious, etc. We are only aware of a small conscious mind, that also very less aware. And when we start becoming aware, like suppose lives of yogis and all it is being said, in pratyahara, asana, dhyana, dharana, all these things, what does it mean? We slowly control the unnecessary wasting of the karma through this body mind, and we find by that procedure, we find so tremendous karma you are doing always, every moment we are doing the karma. So when you try to get still and sit, you are trembling, you are restless, you are looking this way, that way, you are paining back. Why? Because your mind is not tuned with the stilling of the body. The small thing, mind is not tuned. The body is itself doing its own karma like that. And everybody separately doing their own karma. It's a full pandemonium. So when new joining practitioners of yoga, they find, oh, not that they don't do karma, they find the tremendous amount of karma they are always doing. That's what they discover. And that karma is that by the discovery of that karma, what the yogis do, they don't go to akarma. They go for a concentration of the power of the karma. They control the karmas. They focus the karmas. That's what they do. It's all focusing. We don't stop, otherwise we will die. So we focus. In language of yoga, this focusing or making the body mind do the karma I want to do, this is called vritti nirodha. These are all are vritti nirodhas, different stages of vritti nirodhas. Samavrittitvam, we make the similar, we forcefully raise the samavrittitvam. That is the control. Swamiji says, if you can control this karma, what will happen? That you will get tremendous power by which you can become pure and perfect. That is the secret of karma. This is. Now, in that way, we actually see the different strata of the karma, what are all happening. That's why Bhagavan says, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi, not even a single moment anybody is without karma. And Sri Ramakrishna very clearly says, very clear, karma adi kanda, nobody can give up it. Nobody. Now, karma, if you go a little more subtle, needs a karta. Work needs a work doer of the work. So, is it that I don't know? I was just somebody passed. and I made a bad gesture at him. So did you do? No, I was not aware. I did not want to do it. It's simply what is done. We face a lot of things like it. I did not want to do. I did not want to do harm and all these things. I was not the doer, but it came from me. Now, is it true that I did not do it happened? Yogis say it is totally false. You have done, but you even don't know that you have done. That is the discovery yogis do, and that's why when they go deep and deep, they find every moment, everything, minutest thing, what I do is actually done by me with my kartrutva, which is even not known to me. Such a tremendous sleep we are inside. And if you just see the other part of Swamiji's things, he says very clearly, take the responsibility of all your karmas in your shoulder and walk. What does it mean? It means that never be in the delusion that I have not done that. Actually, you only have done that. The moment you know this, then only will be able to settle things right. And any yogi who's going deep into his mind, deep into his intentions of karma, what the yogi do actually is called, this pratyahara dharana. These are all going back into the source of your karma, source of your thought. You think I did not think, but deep inside you have that thought. And if you go truthfully inside, you enter the antarmukhi, then you will find that you only have done that. You will be sure. You can see that I have done that. So these yogis this is called yoga. This is a part of the process of yoga by which you can understand these things. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna says. He said you cannot stay even a moment without doing karma. This being the case, that we cannot stay, if you know it very correctly, then you will find two important things. That I am responsible every moment for what all I do and what is all coming out of me. Generally speaking, in all cases, not almost all, in every cases, what is happening to me is actually done by me. That is the truth. We call it karma phala and on these things, but actually speaking, it is given by the Vedantist in a wonderful simile. It is very nice simile. This is the very strong and very encouraging example, very clear example of this peculiar statement, that what is happening and what is being done, the whole world, actually I am the only person there. What I feel he is also actually me in projection. How? We have heard these things maybe in few places. Now just come to a small vichara. This is very interesting. 2-3 fundamental things are being used as a pillar of Advaitic analysis. One of them is avasthatraya vichara. Avasthatraya. There is no God believing this thing, rituals and all these things we make a worship. No? Today we're discussing worship and work we're discussing. No? Now we think that is worship. Something outside and I go on telling good about it or something. He's a great God of all power. I have nothing. Like that, pleading sort of thing. We think generally this is worship. But it is, the Advaitins don't worship the truth in this way. They don't take that one grace giver with all his will and might is sitting somewhere else and I am just going on praying my life out to get something out of it. It's not that what they do. Because Advaita being the crush jewel of all thinking process, all logics and all argumentations, is a top jewel, cream, and it has been discovered maybe during a span of some 5,000 years. We even cannot think of 10 years, 20, 50 years, even 100 years. Shatabdi, but it is maybe in thousands of years it is discovered. So it's an accumulation and perpetuation of a tremendous intellectual flow that they have come to this pinnacle of conclusions that how Advaitins discovered the truth. he pokes, he knocks the door of the truth, not by those things. Anything which knocks the truth is worship, actually. That is worship. Now, what they do, avasthatraya vichara. What happens? Simple logic. Suppose avasthatraya means jagrat, swapna, and sushupti. This awakened state, we see everything me, other than me, he, she, they, this pot, this room, this water, this light, this sound, and me, different from them, me and others. We experience. This is the whole world. We say it's not me. We always say it's not so. Fine. Now, when you are sleeping, swapna, what is happening exactly? Be very careful. Go back, we gently go back to our experience of the dream. Don't just go on making some thought, pre-recorded thought of some discovery, some paper, some journal. Don't do that. The spirituality essentially concerns your experience. You are the experiencer of dream. So you need not even think what dream is, what he told Macaulay, what he told so and so. No, he need not even. In the beginning, never do that. Swamiji never told. Swami told always read things from your experience first. If you don't get satisfied, then you can go for commentaries. Never go for commentaries. You yourself can do that. Because you are the book of the scripture. You are the book what should be solved, not somebody else. Somebody else's solution will not do. So, Advaitin say very simply, now think of the dream. What is happening in dream? In dream, the whole body is dead to your experience. Not fully, because if it is struck very hard, you will get up. But almost, for all practical purpose, even mosquitoes don't wake you up. Yeah. And Thakur used to make tremendous comment to show that all our pride, our things, our social existential things, our own image, our body image, our social image, what we foster, what we think, everything of us in the world, that has gone to zero. And Sri Ramakrishna, with his all sharp and rustic comments, he says, you have, allegorically, you have big mustache. Means you are of great honor and great pride in the society. With all your big mustache, when you sleep, if a dog pisses on your mouth, you know nothing. So this much of contradiction is vice versa, because every vanity you show is absolutely zero. So we all go back to that zero state of social and worldly vanity every day. See, we are the real book of scripture, not the scripture itself. That's why Swami used to say, who can read one page of the inner scripture, he will be much more intelligent than the person who has by-hearted all the libraries in the world is much more intelligent. Because you are reading the real thing. That is Adhyatma. What happens in the dream state? Let us come. We dream something. Now let us say, we are dreaming that in the night I am walking a street, there is a small light burning, and one man is standing. He is my friend, he is calling me. I am rushing towards him. Now suddenly a tiger comes from the bush, and the tiger attacked both of us. We ran frantically. It was such a terror, and we somehow went to the door, and it was locked. The tiger was let, and it could not enter the door, and we were all saved. And again another big bang on the door. It was almost breaking, and I woke up. It was a dream. It was a dream. Now analyze it. Who saw the dream? Now, it's you or me, nobody else. First, one by one answer. It's very, very nice. There was no other body to see the dream. I saw the dream is the final experience. Like I saw the rose in the awakened state in my garden. So similar experience that I saw the dream. Be truthful. Don't bring all these conjectures of scientific study and journal and this and blah, blah. These are all majoritarily unnecessary. If it's necessary, we'll bring it. Next, because you alone were there. In your sleep, where whole body is dead. So we say, let's say the mind was awake. Something we have to say now. Who was awake? Somebody was awake. I was awake because I experienced it. Then, if there was nobody other than me, so for experiencing, three things are necessary. One is experiencer. One is the process of experiencing, and the object to be experienced. This is a very big three fundamental. There is no other than that, no less than that. Anubhava karta, anubhava kriya, and anubhava padartha, anubhuyamana padartha. Actually, what being experienced. These are the three basic things. Drishyavam, darshana, like this. Three fundamental things. It has to be there. If one is absent, it will not happen. Suppose you are sitting as a drashta. Drishya is there. You are closing your eyes. It will not happen. No? Darshana is not happening. Suppose you are seeing something, but there is nothing to see. You cannot see. Similarly, so you are seeing something, a dream. You can tell it. And not only that, when tiger broke the door, with all palpitation and sweat, you broke up. So physiologically, you are reacting. If you are not reacting, then who is sweating? Ghost is waiting for you, not that. And you are describing the whole process or story. Who knew it? Nobody other than you. So you are the only soul karta. Now point is, how the drishya was made. The scenery of the dream, how it was made. The Advaitins have come to know by deep deliberation of the thing. It also none other than you, because other than you, nothing was there. You and your mind were there. So you created the road, you created the night, you created the pale bulb, you created your friend, you created the love and attraction towards friend, you created the tiger, you created the fright, you created the fly, and you created the shutting of the door, and I got saved. And you created, most importantly, me and non-me. It's me who is afraid, and that is not me. That also is my part. I have created that. So actually, the whole thing is me. Nothing is other than me. So, this being the truth, in the Jagrata we cannot understand this. We cannot understand this. But we can have a hint that if that is the similar thing in a micro everyday level, then we can at least try to make a better road, a better light, a tigerless society. We can make it. That you can do. And that's all what karma means. That's why Swamiji says, take all the responsibilities in your shoulder. You are the maker of your own destiny. How come? If the karma is so fatalistic that you cannot avoid the chain, then actually you can do nothing. That's why people say, Maharaj, what should I do? Karma. But Swamiji sees Swamiji, where from he's telling the whole thing. Knowing very clearly that, see, when the Siddha happens, Swapnavat, the Jagat becomes Swapnavat. Like a dream, it's actually like a dream. It appears to all the seers. And Swamiji has more clearly said, this world is after all a dream, an ugly, a bad dream. Then he says, the whole morality and all these things we try is nothing but see a good dream. That also a dream. Because the state where there is no dream, then only we are alone there. We are in our own self. Other than that, everything is a dream. So in our Patanjali Yoga Sutra, these two very fundamental sutras come in the beginning itself. Beginning itself. That Yogaschitta vritti nirodha. Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. Tada means when there is vritti nirodha, there is nothing other than the consciousness. It's not dark. It is the consciousness alone. Tada drashtu swarupe avasthanam. The next sutra, if you see, it comes vritti sarupya vitaratra. Whenever the jagat, that vritti happens, then automatically vritti sarupyam happens. I think it's me. This absolutely I-ness, absolute ahankta and mamata, it starts taking place. That is the Maya actually. How it was, nothing was there. Suddenly I am like me and the tiger. So in between that me and tiger and dreams are separate, can we do this? Suppose you are dreaming and you suddenly in the state from the dream you find it is full a dream and actually you're not dreaming. It does not happen. Sometimes we feel it's a dream in a dream, but it remains dream. It is not awake. So that is maybe a co-producer or a co-substance in the dream of another dreaming things, because you listen to this dream. So when you dream something, you see a dream inside a dream inside a dream. But the whole thing remains a dream. It is not awake. So we all try to think that can we become out and see that dream as a dream, and that is happening only possible when you are siddha. Now, this is the gamut of karma I have just discussed. Not fully, little bit. Why? Because until and unless we know the karma is a must, the karma is done totally by me, and karma is not avoidable, and the karma can be meant by karma. I can change the karma. I can change the dream in my own way. It is as we are telling, suppose I am telling big things, talking big things. Anybody of us is there who can intentionally change his own dream? My own dream. But I cannot change. But there are people who can do that by tremendous training of the mind that we can do. So similarly, this world also can be changed to a better dream. And that is what is the beauty of human birth. No animal can do that. They are all subject to the fatalistic karma. You do and you have to do that. But only human can change the work. And by the chain of changing of the work, he can get a completely different things what he wants to happen to him. That only man can do. And that is linked up with one special power, one very, very special power given to man very prominently, and that is will. Because this willpower is the only power which is given to man and which is actually, we say, spark of God, which is actually free in nature. If there is anything free in nature in us, in our whole model of human construction, this is the only power which is free. And I think, I don't know whether we discussed or not, so Sri Ramakrishna has described in one of the best possible way so far we have learned from other scriptures, how the dream willpower actually works in man. So one is absolute bondage of the work. You cannot, even for a moment, your eye here, suppose you are sitting like this. We even don't know there are at least some 5,000 muscles from miniature to big. They are maintaining a complete symphony to maintain a small posture, suppose like this. Suppose I am doing like this. These all the postures expressing my special intention of mind, maybe tired, maybe interested, maybe a little bit, quietened or inspired. Now we change our body posture, everything. For maintaining that posture. Unconscious mind is working with some 5,000 muscles, which includes some 50 lakhs or 50 crores of muscle fibers, with synchrony and symphony to maintain that small gesture of mind, of free wheelie gesture. So I have no idea that I am doing all this thing. Swamiji says when a yogi starts doing the yoga, he starts being aware of the micro movement and micro control, the entire body first. How the tremendously advanced machine, the body is working. And who is working? I am the person. Suppose I die, the whole body will fall like a log of wood. Whom you have faced a dead body, to put it erect, put it head up, is impossible. It is just falling like a wet cloth. So we are keeping straight, erect. You know, so much that muscle tone and all these things we say, these are all subconscious work we are doing. We are not aware. Now the willpower is dispersed like that in a inevitable way. We are not aware. Now, if you are aware, that's why they say, though the work process is this, I create the whole, but what is the work out, way out? I have a willpower. I can know the secret and I can control the thing. By controlling, so Swamiji says, wonderful statement, listen, this is a remarkable statements of Swamiji. The goal of the human life is to be free. Then he says, by controlling nature, internal and external. See, but wonderful. You have to match the things, internal and external. External much you cannot do, but you have actually in your hand your internal nature. From your seeing, your understanding, your thinking, your prana, everything you can fully control. You can control your thought process. Suppose, let me give a small example of Swamiji. See how the knower of the truth really says. It is really remarkable. If we don't actually know, would have not read Swamiji, it is very difficult to believe that things are so concretely true. Listen to the statement of Swamiji. He says, means how we mend our working life, our inner control. People think by so much pranayama, so much things you have to do, the pratyahara, small, subtle things, if you don't understand, whole life will go. The take home is not that. Swamiji says the take home is something extraordinarily sharp, bold, and true. Only the category of this type of Brahmagyanis can say. It is not for this little bit other, which you call Brahmavida. Now, these are all Brahmavida Varishtha. They are of extremely high Brahmagyanis. So, Swamiji, just for an example, I'm giving a statement. She says in one place, always keep your mind joyful. We all know that. Maharaj, how difficult, no joy is coming, I'm trying, blah, blah, so many things. Now, just listen to the second statement of Swamiji. See how a real teacher, Narendra was appointed teacher by Sri Ramakrishna, by the God. Naren Shikhe Dive, he is the only teacher. Nobody is the teacher actually. Sri Ramakrishna himself did not become teacher. Naren, he brought Narendra for the world. It was a sadhana of Sri Ramakrishna to bring Narendra. That was a siddhi of Sri Ramakrishna. Now he says, Narendra says, always keep your mind joyful. Then he says, if melancholy thoughts come, see how he really teaches. He expects us to do. If melancholy thoughts come, kick them out. This is the word he uses. He does not say, produce different vritti, produce taste, or go to the temple and cry for a gallon of water. Never says these things. He neither said you have to go for ablution, you go for prayashchitta. All these things we have in our mind, deep seated. If you have to suffer your own karma, what can I do? Your own karma, if you know the karma theory, you suffer. So you have all these logics inside. But what Swamiji says in our own language, in the language of absolutely unheard guy, he says the word is kick them out. Have you kicked anybody? You have to know what kicking is. He's not telling some blah blah story. He says the word knowing very well what kick means. And he says the melancholy thoughts should be kicked out. He does not enter any intricacy of this chemistry of bad thought and blah blah things. Then he says, whatever weakens you physically, mentally, spiritually, reject them as poison. See, he never gives you, make you responsible. Are your karma, you have to suffer, what to do? This type of fatalistic thing, this type of absolute irresponsible looking like instruction things he never gives. He says exactly, and he was so aware. He says, don't think I speak. I know where the shoe pinches. I give them something substantial and I see that they receive it. This is Swami Vivek. He was Swamiji, according to regarding Swamiji, Narendra Thakur said, na, he is already a Dhyana Siddha, already a Yogi Siddha. Now, Dhyana Siddha, our Pandits and all, they have so many interpretations. Somebody said, Dhyanena Siddha, by doing Dhyana, he becomes Siddha. But the real interpretation is, he is Dhyane Siddha. He is adept in the whole process. The whole process is he is the master model of the process. Not only he has done the masteries of the process. And these people can change the process also. They can give other avenues of the process also. And that had been always the Indian ethos of spiritual journey. We always welcome. And Swamiji also welcomed in the rule of Mat. If anybody can discover any path other than Sri Ramakrishna, if it is valid, it is welcome, we'll add. Catholic, fully opened up. So there is this karma and willpower, ichha. And then you have to find what is worship. See, in Bhagavata, worship, one sloka comes. And Swamiji quotes that sloka also. And it is, people actually don't want to listen or discuss. We generally worship means this, again, fasting, Ekadasi, what to cook, this rice, that rice, dal, onion will be there or not, garlic, thu, then so many, such a big list of what garlic is a harm and is a poison, this poison, that poison. Only Gangajal remains, which is not poison. Everything is poison. How to live, I don't know. Now, this type of tremendously killing conjunctures invades man, and they have nowhere to go. But the pinnacle scripture of devotion is Bhagavata. Now, there the Bhagavata says what is worship. And Swamiji quotes it nicely. He says, means Bhagavata says, Uttama Brahma Sadbhavo, who is the real good worshipper, he is in the Brahma Bhava. Everything is Brahman. See, Brahmachari also that. Brahmani charati iti Brahmachari. Not where putting on shikha, eating rice on Havishana, always there, sleeping in the floor. No. These you may follow, you may not follow, does not matter. But if you somehow can keep the Brahman in your consciousness, the Brahma, not the Chaturmukha Brahma, the unifying conscious principle which cannot be destroyed, which is the only jyoti, only light of it, behind anything. If you can conceive what it is, and if you can remember in your part every work, then you are Brahma Sadbhava. And that is the highest worship, Uttama, Brahma Sadbhava. Then he says, Dhyana Bhavastu Madhyama. For the middle part, next strata, where they're trying to meditate, trying to understand the Brahman. What is Dhyana Sadbhava? The Dhyana Bhavastu, Dhyana Bhavanam, they always try to conceive, to make what Brahman is. Then they can always remember, Taila Dharavat, that thought will always be under streamed. Then it is Brahma Sadbhava. So Dhyana was the next one, trying to do that. Next, Stutir Japo Adhamo. Stutir Japo Adhamo Bhava. Adhama means lowest, low, na? Lowest. Stutir Japa, Japa also. Tam Tam Hari 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 doing. Stuti, oh God, you are so nice, big eyes, Kirita, Virita, all these stones. What I am greedy of diamonds. So you have so many diamonds. So I'm not greedy for you. I love you because I love my grid. See, analyze the whole thing. I love my greed of gold and diamond, and that's why you put so much over the gold and diamond in your Kirita. I think, what a great God. We make competitions, He's God, he's here in this Durga Puja, there is 5 tons of gold. Oh, is it so? Such a great God. Because I think becoming greedy of gold is a great thing. So I worship my own greed. When somebody was worshipping, some brahmachari was worshipping the Shorsopachara Puja, so much of the bhog, all these food items and all, big sandal paste, so much work. Then simply he told, God never wants from you all this stuff. This clay and stone and rice and dal, he doesn't want from you. This is, you are doing your own Shorsopachara of your own bhoga. এটা তোমার ভোগের ষোড়শোপচার হচ্ছে. We love, we are greedy, and we are trying to make it a multifold, make it a godly, and enjoy and support our own greed. So that is why this adhama is very difficult to come out of it. Adhama. And it does not end. Bhagavata is not ending here. The last part is remaining. Uttama brahma sadbhavo dhyana bhavastu madhyamaha stuti rijapu adhamo bhavo. Then fourth part is bhajya puja adhamadhama. The lowest of the lowest is the bhajya puja. All this worship you see, the text of the bhakti says they are the lowest of the lowest. So worship, we have to clarify. Work and worship, these two things have come in the terminology. So worship true is Brahma Sadbhavo. That is worship. Why worship? Maharaj, what is worship? Brahma is one. Well, there is nothing to worship, is one. Okay, let it be one with you, then nobody to worship. But till you are thinking that manana is not actually Brahma Jnana. It is a Shabda Brahma. You are listening one Shabda, Atman, Brahman, like that. You are making a model. Don't think that is Atman. That's a modeling of the Atman. You're trying to conceive. Then you go on thinking that is Manana, Shravana Manana. That's a big process, and that does not end there. Then after you conclude with all your doubts dispelled, logically, you cannot move. Then you try to internalize, find your own Atman. When you find, then it will become one. Before that, these 3 procedures, that's why they are traveling. This Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, that we call Jnana Nishtha, and that is included, but that is not Brahman itself. That is Brahma Sadbhava. So when we are taking a journey of that immutable Brahman, that's all engulfing, all equalizing, Sarva Samyakari. The Shankaracharya says wonderfully. All Bheda Nashakari, Sarva Samyakari. It's a wonderful idea. We all want Samya. We are so much obsessed with Samya. All should get the same chant, same thing, same. We are all obsessed. Why? Where the obsession comes? Because that is our nature. Nobody has taught that. So we find that Sarva Samyakari, that real existential truth, it is not a conjecture, giving a model or a social reform. No, it is the truth. And Swamiji is so much tremendously agile in interdisciplinary regions. He says the people that Samya, social form, reform, all should get, how Maharaj can be implemented, so much of vichara, all these things. This question comes to people when they work in the society. So how is Brahman? Then Swamiji gives a one breakthrough statement. He says, very short statement. He says the civilization. He says what civilization is and will be. He says, it is for the society to pay homage to truth or perish. It is not the truth will pay homage to society. See, that is a breakthrough statement. It is never the society to pay homage to truth. It is for the society to pay. It is not the honesty will or truth will pay homage to society. It is the society who has to pay homage to truth. Then he says, or perish. No second word. So, Brahma Sadbhavo, this puja is actually a social work also. Now you see, work is actually worship. The work, the mental things, understanding who is the real worker is the mind. Suppose you smile at a person, if your enemy, how are you? No, you're not smiling, you're feigning. So that is the karta inside is not smiling. You are showing a smile. So the karta is not smiling. The karma will not be some smile. Karma will never be smile. So similarly, that is what Sri Ramakrishna says, the most difficult part of sadhana. What is that? According to his simple Bengali word, bhaber ghare churi na kara, means man, mukh, ek kara. In any stream, this is the most pinnacle, the crest jewel of all sadhana, be bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, everywhere. And Sri Ramakrishna used to say it in wonderful, positive way. He says, God is approachable by the people simple at heart. Sharol udar na hole Bhagavan labh. This Sharol is the simple guilelessness who does not have any theft. He thinks and does. This conduit should be absolutely in harmony, no disharmony. Then the Karta, who is a Brahma Sadbhava, he will be the most beneficial for the world. Then work is worship. There is nothing other than worship. You tell it work or whatever. It's your terminology. You made the difference of work and worship. It was never different. It's all the same. That is why when the one thing we always read, Mahajana Jaino Gatasya Pantha. Whatever the Brahma Jnanis, the knower of the Brahman or truth or God realized person, whatever they do, that is the truth, that is the morality, and that is the path one should follow. There is no other path. There is no other stringent thing. That is why we have so many realized souls and so many past followers. But the followers, according to Swamiji, they misunderstand. They forget the teaching and what did he drink, 2 gulp of water, 5 grains of rice. Then do concentrate on all these hopeless things. They don't know why to concentrate. They thought that is the main thing. But no. That's why Swamiji says the whole history of human, these great workers and big fight among the groups of the followers of the great people is the foolishness of the misunderstanding of the followers. It is never for the great propagator of the thoughts. They were all correct. You did not understand. So there is one funny expression they say that once what do you call the fight between that Shiva and Rama happened, and they came to a conclusion. It was over. But the monkeys and the ghosts, they went on fighting. Their fight never stopped, though they have stopped. So that is the part where religion is made responsible for the hassles and problems. It was never, Swamiji says, it is never ever for the religion itself. It is for the callousness, stupidity, and misunderstanding, and making the non-essentials as essentials and forgetting the essentials of the spirituality. So, all as you will see, Sri Ramakrishna made it so bold in sketch and understanding. He says, he is a person, real person, he says, worth speaking as person who unifies, who disseminates, makes differences and classes, is not a right person. Je ek kore shei manush. So see, unification, Brahma Sadbhavo, work, thought, they are all in the same line. And the whole spiritual civilization, if you see, it is only and only resting on this most Catholic thing, what Swamiji proclaimed. You see, if you come to the history, it is so vibrant and wonderful. When he lectured in Chicago, what he said, Shrinvantu Vishwe Amritasya Putra. Then he says, what a wonderful name of hope, where all the children of immortality. See, he never said anything other than all of the children. See, he could have said different sectarian way. My things, who follows these are only children of immortality, who are not, come here and become children of immortality. Never. He did not say, na. Others, everybody said that. Till today they say that. But the real thing is, everybody, that thought and realization, that is the real platform of the entire big structure of the diversified Indian and Sanatana ethos, the real religion. So always remember, the worship is the best. Our goal is Brahma Sadhaka. Our worshippers, teachers never contradicted. He said, go for Bhajya Puja. But know very well it is nothing. Never emphasize. See how civilization is guided by this. Is one sloka. I could have said, was Brahman there good worshippers? I could have stopped there. It's correct. But he went length to tell the entire, to cover the whole social structure, all mentalities, to include in the cycle of puja. And without compromise. If you go for a Bhajya Puja, you can go. But remember, it is the lowest of the lowest. Never brag. If you want to go high, go for japa. If you want still higher, go for dhyana. If you really go, until and unless you are having the idea of Brahman, we are all equal, only one consciousness remains in everybody. There is no difference. So, and it was so much importantly and repeatedly being demonstrated by Sri Ramakrishna. He could, even without, with his intention, he cannot do otherwise. He said, I saw that lady who is not socially very well reputed, but I saw the Divine Mother. So I was forced to do pranam. He says, see, the truth is so prominent that he was sort of forced to. And he did that only. Because why? Brahma Sadbhava. All the diversification and digressions are cancelled by Brahma Sadbhava. It may not be revealed in Dhyan. It may not be revealed in Japa. No question in Bhajya. But only the unification is revealed in Brahma Sadbhava. And it is the reality and truth. And that cancels all other aberrations. So that is becoming worship. And that only happens by work. What work? Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. How it happens? The primordial thing is, until and unless you start become selfless, the inner and outside manmukh act will never happen. That's why karma for others is the only process of chitta shuddhi, nothing else. Swamiji says, this is the only test of your spiritual progressions. We all can become Paramahamsa in a room. In a room, we are all Paramahamsas. In our own AC, nice room, well illuminated, well warmed or well chilled, nice foods. Zomato, we're calling, Zomato is coming, this, that is coming. We're all Brahmagyanis in a room. No, never. Even with small work, there will be jostle, there will be friction. On small ego, we go. Why? Because the reason is selfishness. I love this small self. So anything which is impinging on this small self of body-mind complex, it is mine. So I don't, the moment it becomes non-mine, I don't bother. How it will happen? By Brahma Sadbhava. That is the karma which work, external work, will force you to do, will force you to practice. Because it forces you to practice, we don't want to practice. Other things are optional. But karma yoga is not optional. That will force you to do the work. That will force you to stay in the like a pot. It's looking very nice. And say there is no puncture in the pot, so all nice. If you put in the water, the punctures will be visible. Some water seepage is happening. So until and unless the pot is put in the water, we don't know that pot has holes inside. So karma, that's why Swamiji says, do karma. And Holy Mother was the ultimate word. She used to say, karma is the only Lakshmi. Not a single moment you should think, I am idle and all these things. See, she should have said, not a single moment you do without be Japan, without this thing, leave all these things and do job. She would have said, no. She said, কাজ ছাড়া এক মুহূর্ত থাকতে নেই কাজ লক্ষ্মী the work is the real Lakshmi. Lakshmi means Shri, means what? The real intelligence of goodness, the real intelligence of Mangala. That is Lakshmi. That Lakshmi will guide you what to do. That's why Swamiji, and all our Gita, all Mahabharata, Ramayana, just see terrible war is described, is not so? Always fight. Have there been any meditation class? Retreat in Mahabharata? Meditation retreat in Ramayana? Gita? Fine, see. Similarly, Vivekananda. These are not the right thing. These are all, we all acknowledge, we all embrace as an evolutionary process. But if you speak the truth right, you have to come through the work. That's why Swami used to say that purification only happens through the fire of hell. Only through the fire of hell it is purified. Don't get afraid. Why? Because your real nature is never hell. And your real nature, no God, no demon can perish. It is always there. Even if you have 80 crores of a life and death, nobody can perish your real nature. So this is real light of East. Swamiji says, by discovering Atman, the India has indebted the entire world for eternity. He has given the highest truth. You implement this highest truth in any field, as a teacher, as a worker, as a spiritual man, whatever. The entire glory will, he says, the glory will come. He does not say all the glory should go to you. We have karma vived, we have guna viveda, we have tendency viveda. Let it sprout. A good rose tree will give rose only, no? It should not give watermelon. So why should I expect watermelon from a rose tree? Let it be of good rose. Watermelon tree, let it be good watermelon. So how it is good happening? That the moment you know you are immutable, indestructible Atma. We don't want to believe, but you read scriptures 1,000 times, you will not find anything other than that. Shlokardhena pravakshami yaduktam granthakothibhihi. That jiva brahmaiva naparam. There is nothing other than Brahma Satya Jagan Mitha Jiva Brahma Eva. Nothing else. That is the Grantha Kotivihi, in crores of the scriptures, this is only told. So we can come to a conclusion. This is a process, of course. I have just touched a sketch. The entire sketch of the gamut I have done. Time is very small. I have even crossed 1 hour. More than that, 70 minutes. So it's just a sketch. And sketch should be convincing enough so that we can come to the details. If at all we can come. So not more today. If any question comes, I can answer, try to answer. That's
all. Thank you, Maharaj. It was, I don't know, I have no words to describe. And without wasting more of your time, Maharaj, Saurav, you had a question. Would you like to go ahead with your question?
Yeah, Juma, yeah, definitely. Pranam Maharaj. After a long time, I'm asking a question from you, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, as you mentioned, this karta, the definition of karta, that ahankar and karta is becoming karma. When we do japa and all those things, this ahankar is like aham bhav goes down. But when we go to the world,
no, don't at all think. These pehlu, this paradox has been solved for the first time by Sri Ramakrishna. We are always suffering as if ahankara is. You go to the West and other cultures, they like bragging up. It's my own identity. They will tell, extol about himself. We Indian culture people, ahankara is bad. Are you are ahankari, so he thinks I am gone. Is it like a gali, ahankari? But Thakur says, yes, ahankara is bad, but there is a good ahankara. Good ahankara. He says, to me. Two types of me. Ahankara means me and my mind, no? That is ahankara. One is unripe ego. Unripe. He only gave these two epithets, these terminologies. Sri Ramakrishna. And the humanity waited for 10,000 years to listen to these two simple things. Who are the students of philosophy, sincere students, they know. And other is ripe ego. That is ego. But ripe is expected and wanted. That becomes your friend for your liberation. If you don't have a ripe ego, you never advance. So he says, simple words of Sri Ramakrishna. Ami, Omuker Baba, Omuker Ma, Omuker Umu, Amarato Pasham, I have so much money, so much things. These all egos are unripe ego. What is right? I am the son of God. I am Atman inside. I am doing japa, the name of the Lord, the name of the Paramatma. I am taking the vibrant. This I should be made very strong. That ego will take us. Other is what? Namby-pamby jellyfish, Swami used to say. That will not take us anywhere. So, in order to cut ego, we cut everything. No. We have to cultivate the good ego. And Swami Thakur said, right, pakami means correct. That is what exactly the implication of in Bengali paka means. It's correct and right. So we must become egoistic. So far, he cultivated the correct ego. And Swamiji was to that extent for the lazy and useless, criticizing, jealous people of India. He was tired. He used to say, who are jealous, even God cannot help them. He used to say this. So to promote them, to shake them, he used to say, even for your name and fame, do work with all your vivacity. Let insight come out. That is yours. That correct, legitimate claiming of your quality to be appreciated is dharma. That is what is dharma. What do you find in our epics, Mahabharata and all? It is something of Brahman. As a Kshatriya, what should I do? As a Vicharaka, what should I do? As a Brahmana, what should I do? They stick to their own principles. This is my creation. I can read nicely. Somebody can work for long hours. We are not same. Appreciate everybody. And Swamiji was such a profound seer of the truth, which is absolutely unimaginable. Means one can have this type of penetration in truth. It is something absolutely fabulous. I will just quote one small statement. See how he used to look after people who are doing karma. He used to say, always remember, this is called real Mahapurusha. No, have you seen? You will not read anywhere. These are not, motivational words. These are truths based on Atman, I'm telling you. So what he is telling, no one should be judged by their defects. What do we do? Find defects. So much quality, one defect. No. We are so much picky. So he says, no one should be judged by their defects. The virtues a person has are his especially. His errors are the common weaknesses of humanity and should never be counted in estimating his character. See how he is picking up the quality and putting the man in track, which is your quality. And he said, you should never be judged by his defects. We think our whole institution, education, everything, we are defect finders. We make their own narrative of defects also. And immediately you prove somebody is a worthless guy. That's what we were doing. So that is the wrong thing. So we always have to remember that good ego, cultivating in oneself, saying good ego in others, these are all going hand in hand. I love my good egos to be satisfied and will find fault. It will never go hand in hand. That will be another problem. So this is the instruction of who has seen Brahman has gone.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. And I keep forgetting. So, kacha ami, paka ami, in line with this, is it the same as what Thakur said, Vidya Maya or Avidya Maya? Can we draw the, is it
Exactly,
similar?
but because this Maya word is very much, misleading for the common people's understanding, Thakur never bothered what is even understanding. He always speaks like an illiterate person should speak like that in his language. So Vidya Maya is exactly the same thing, but the perspectives are different. You have nothing to do with Maya because Mayadhish is only the Lord. We are the Mayadhinas. So how to get out of the Maya? So he says another Maya has to be taken in account. There is a Vidya Maya. By that Avidya Maya will go. Means I have, and that does not end there. It is very tricky. It's very difficult. He says, give an example analogy, the Vidya Maya, Avidya Maya, which we are all suffering from, the separation from the reality of the God or Atman. So he gives an allegory that it's like a thorn. Thorn is speaking in my foot, bleeding. This is Avidya Maya. Okay, fine. Then what is Vidya Maya? So Thakur told, there is another thorn. It is nothing flower. This is another thorn by which you can pick up the thorn. In olden days, when a thorn is to pick, then another thorn is to be applied to just scoop it out. So both are thorns. Both are mayas. Then the last statement is, when you pick up the avidya, the ignorance thorn, that is the most difficult part of the thing. We throw away both the thorns. Not only avidya is gone, vidya also is gone. Because it's not necessary. It has done its work. Suppose vairagya is a vidya maya. Now when you realize vairagya is unnecessary, it's useless. You need not become dispassionate of it because you have no passion at all. You have mastered the dispassion. So you need not take recourse to this. But that is what is important is that is necessary for a sādhaka. That is necessary for a sādhaka. To take recourse to these instruments, and they are good, they are vidya, they are only the sadhanas. All sadhana is vidya maya only. And there are pakami. Pakami is still internal. Pakami is your conviction about yourself. Is pakami. It is not only taking recourse to something, ultimately what is your conviction about yourself? Ami Bhagavaner Bhakta. I am a sadhaka. That should be properly established. That will protect you from all problems. Whether you do sadhana. And Ashokananda just spoke very nicely that think, talk, spirit, meditation or no meditation does not matter. Ashokananda is telling very nice things. Think, talk, work from the spirit. Meditation or no meditation does not matter. So with procedures, we make it complicated. Too much of description of the procedures. It need not be so.
Yeah, so then, but it is not the same. That means Maya, that is Maya at the end of the day, which is false. So this is more interesting. Thank you so much for clarifying this. Any more questions? Maharaj, apna timer kotota ye apni, as you mentioned, you have already this thing. So how much time do you have?
Almost it is finished.
It's finished. Then Maharaj, then can you please request another webinar as an extension there? I'm sure there are many questions. I myself have many more questions, Maharaj, to be very honest. But
then we will... I shall try to find out. And
I'll be in touch with you then.
Make a different topic, because we have covered everything about all the three phases of the work and worship thing. Now, if we go in details, that is still more marvelous, very clear, convincing. But then you have to take very peace, because we have started the whole sadhana in 1 hour. It is not possible. So
I know. So
So it has to go. It has to go in a piecemeal, in a much more smaller detail, in a fragmented topics. Then only you can
Yes.
have.
So can we approach it like that, Maharaj, then, and
Let us
fragmented in
let us
smaller
hope so.
topics?
I don't know. I will see my time, etc.
Yes, I will be in touch with you. Thank you so much.